Welcome to Casual Babble. Hey, it's your boy, BC Babble. This conversation could get a little weird. I'm not trying to say that I'm a nerd, but we are definitely about to get our nerd on, so this is Casual Babble. Boom. All right. So, I don't know if I told you last time we hung out, but did a recent recording session, like in the past month, where I did not click the record button until an hour and a half afterward when I went to turn it off.
Oh, my. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's like podcasting 101, though, Brian.
Right? Thankfully, there's a new camera installed, so they caught the moment where that happened.
Ooh.
And since I turned it on, when I went to turn it off, you got the audio moment, too.
Ooh, are you gonna like use that as a blooper?
I don't know.
You need
I
to.
think so.
You have
like,
to.
I think when Tayflo does maybe her training, I can like send it to her, and she can be like, "Kids, this is what you don't do when you're recording your podcast."
Actual visual proof.
Visual and crisp audio proof.
Oh boy, did you have someone in here with you?
Yeah, it was her. I was interviewing her for like the third episode of the show, and I was like, "Oh my god." And
did she know?
She didn't realize.
Oh,
until I went to turn it off. We both had the same reaction. Like,
those are like double whammies.
Yes.
So what did you do? Did you like?
We set up another recording session.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was like in the middle of the week, so we just came in on the weekend and redid it.
Okay.
Pretending like the stories that we shared, we've only heard for the first time. First time. Rewriting history for the sake of the show.
That's the showbiz.
That's what we do. Well, hello, you beautiful individual. Welcome back to the show. It's BC Babbles, and this is Casual Babble. And in the studio, gracing the airwaves today, is a longtime friend of mine. I have not seen her in way too long. Please welcome Miss Jasmine Miles.
Hello.
How you doing today?
Hello.
How's the week been for you?
You know, it was a week. It was a working week. Mm-hmm. You have your ups and downs, but
for sure.
I'm glad to see the weekend.
Yeah. If it wasn't for these 2 beautiful rest and reprieve days, I'm not sure if I'd still be alive.
Is it rest?
You know what? It should be. It's supposed to be. I think that's like what they sell you when you're a child. Weekends are supposed to be rest.
You know what? Honestly, up until this last year, I feel like Saturdays and Sundays were always like my sleep-in day. Mm-hmm. But now, lately, it's only been Sundays. Sundays has been like my, you know what? You don't have anything planned. And I think because I've strategically made it so I don't have anything in the early morning.
Sure.
So, yeah, because anything that I need to be at starting at 12 is early for me.
Ooh.
So here I am.
Now, at least on Saturdays, though, are you doing preferable things as opposed to Monday through Friday?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I don't think I've done anything I don't want to do on a weekend in a long time.
So it's active, but it's not like unnecessarily demanding.
Yeah.
Or taking more out of you than it should.
Right. And let me put a disclaimer out. This has only been for the last few months. When I say, no, I take that back, couple of months. Because few means more than 2.
Right.
And it has not been more than 2.
Ooh, yeah.
But I've literally been like caged in. So I'm going to accept that I'm out and about early.
Yeah. Oh, man. So you and I have not gotten to really sit down since you and I were working back over off of Martin Luther King Boulevard in Charlotte. And we went our kind of different business ways for a hot minute. So let's talk about your transition. So talk about the position you got into moving from Lincoln Property and how, and just what that experience has been for you up until this point.
Oh my gosh, it has been a lot.
Yes.
Because with Lincoln, I didn't have a choice. I was permanently furloughed.
Yeah.
So I had to really like dig into my network, and I was given opportunity to work with insurance. Mm-hmm. Now, I've never been a salesperson. Mm-hmm. I never wanted to be a salesperson. Yeah. But bills are coming. Yeah. And most importantly, I really needed healthcare. So it was just a decision I had to out of necessity. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that I love it. I do not. Right. Did you hear that low?
It was a low register, and a little bit of vocal fry. Like it came from your soul when you said that.
So I work in Medicare. I work with insurance company that provide like Medicare plans. Mm-hmm. When I first heard about it, it took about 3 months for training, getting your licensing, and all those kind of things. So that part of it, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm doing something good for the people. Mm-hmm. For the people.
Yes.
But actually being on the sales floor, aka on the phone, And I do work from home, so let me put that out there. So that's easy as well. But oh my God, I've been raised in the South, and all my life I have been taught to respect your elders and always be respectful and things of that nature. Honey, I have to be real strict with them sometimes. Like, listen, you're not going to talk to me like that, okay? I'm trying to, ma'am, I'm trying to help you.
Yes.
So it's been a lot. I'm not going to lie. I've been actively working on getting a new job. For months now. And I've been a little picky because, I mean, fortunately, I am in a position at the moment to kind of take my time and find a different job. But, I mean, I'm nowhere near where I need to make financially, like always. Isn't that always the case?
That's the basic tune of life, really.
And just overall happiness. For so long, I wanted to work at home because I thought it would be so cool, right? Listen, I have gained like 30 pounds.
Same.
Yeah. Working from home. Can't do it. And just the social scene. I always told myself I was an introvert, and which I am, but like I'm selective.
Yeah.
Very selective about my introvertness.
And I've seen you around the friends that you've chosen to have in your circle, and you are lively around them. Right. For sure.
And I've realized even more so I'm a really lively person. So since I've been working from home, now when I actually do go out, I am like, hello, how are you doing? Hi, I'm Jasmine.
Please don't let me go home yet.
Right. So it's just all those things. I mean, at the moment, I felt like, when my job was furloughed last year, I literally felt my life was falling apart. It was just like one thing after the next. But I'm at a point now where I realized it was a transition.
Yeah.
Very transitional moment in my life where I'm like, you have to figure out what you want to do.
Right.
What are we going to be doing for the rest of these years? So I'm more understanding of the process.
Gotcha.
But I still hate it.
So when it came down to, was there any kind of like headway or like kind of notice prior to it that this might happen with the company that you were with at the time, that you might get furloughed?
No.
It was sudden?
No, it was, just completely sudden, like out of nowhere. I'm a very nonverbal communicator, so I pick up on those signs.
Right.
And something was just not sitting right with me.
Okay.
But I definitely didn't have an idea that like my job would be, up for dismantling.
Yeah. Wow.
So that was like, I've never experienced that before. And it's so funny because when I first started with that company, one of my coworkers at the time had told me like, yeah, that's kind of a thing. Like in this industry that we're in, sometimes people get furloughed and, they just replace you and keep moving. And I was like, what? That's insane. Like, why would I do that?
Is it furlough in the sense that like the job itself goes away, or do they just replace the person in the job?
They replace the department in the company.
Oh.
So you're no longer part of their company. So I was offered the position to stay with the company. It was not a good fit at all. Like literally within 4 days, I put in my immediate notice.
Yeah. So what was the capacity they were thinking you might take on instead?
Still doing the major grunt work, but it was even more chaotic than the position I had before.
Oh.
So it was just like,
the position you had before
was already stressful enough, as you know. So it was just like, what is this? Like, why am I here? So like all of the basic benefits that I had with the job originally. So, it was, your basic health plan, paid time off.
Yeah.
Pretty decent wage at the time, but it was manageable. And you had those strict hours where like you start at 3, get off at 11, or you start at 7, get off at 3.
Right.
Maybe a little leeway every once in a while someone's late, but like nothing major.
Right. Yeah.
The new company, that I was so fortunate to be, transitioned into.
So fortunate.
There was no health care. They gave you, I guess they provided you some type of reimbursement, and it was like 30% what you paying out of pocket.
So they had to wait for you to break your leg and then only paying you 30% of what it costs to get it fixed.
Right, exactly.
Lovely
and
system.
And that's if I was to get health insurance.
Right.
And no one was on time. Like I said, I was there for 4 days, and the first day they were supposed to start, I got to work bright and early. And I was like, I'm going to put my best foot forward, you know?
Try to make it work.
Right. Because at that time, they had gave me the title that I had been looking for a while with the original company. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to show them, like, I'm good at this, whatever. And I'm ready to train. I'm ready to you know, network with the, you know, the management. And no one showed up. 8 o'clock comes around, 9 o'clock comes around, and I'm still in, you know, my original mindset where, like, this is the company I work for. So I'm like, I no longer work for this company. So, like, am I doing the right thing? Like, I'm not really sure what I'm doing here. So it was just a bad taste in my mouth. And, like, throughout the day, each day it got worse and worse. And I was just like, what am I settling here for? Like, what is this? What is this? So eventually I took a temporary job in between time before I have my current one. And that was even more stressful. Working in the concierge business is really stressful. Yeah. Because it's almost like a sense of entitlement. Because you are an amenity to them. Right. Like, you're not, you know, it's not like we're with management and we're setting the rules and this and that. And it's like, I pay you to be here. And it's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. But, you know, so it was really heartbreaking, to be honest. Like, it was just in the midst of everything that else was going on with me. Like, I would say 2020 did not break me. 2021 did.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh,
like, I would be the first to say that. Like, 2020 was not bad for me at all, but 2021 was just like, whoa,
that's a different bitch.
What is this?
Yes.
Like, I've never experienced this before.
Yeah.
So it's June of 2022, and I am literally just now starting to pick up the pieces of just like where things went wrong. Yeah. And trying to rebuild those things. So yeah, it's been a process.
A lot of people I feel like don't understand the I mean, I know there's a lot of talk about like mental health nowadays, kind of in general for across the people, but mental health and customer service.
Oh my God.
Like, the need for it, I think, is just profound. Yeah. So you've done Charlotte Radio. You've done concierge work. You've done some security work. You've done the other position between concierge and your current one. Right. And now you're in medical care insurance.
And they still all have a very high customer service forefront.
So going into like your first couple of customer facing positions, what were your kind of expectations about how you'd handle yourself with customers versus the reality circumstances that the customers like to kind of throw on your plate?
Right. I think, like most people, when you first get started with working, my first job was in Target, and that was like my first, like, you know, introduction to customer service. Right. And honestly, looking back on it, I think I was spoiled, to be honest. Like, it was a lot more. Well, again, this was in 2010. Very so different life has era. Changed. Yeah. So life has definitely changed. We didn't have any Karens at that moment. Right. But it was okay. You know, it was a little decent little customer service. I was like the cashier, so it was okay. But, you know, fast forward, almost 10 years later, I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? Right. Like, do you really see people who work in customer service as like beneath you?
Yeah. Like a sub form of human?
Because you're coming to me.
Right.
Like, yes, I'm here in this position, but I am an option. Yes. So you come to me as an option, and then you talk to me lowly. Like, why would you do that? Right. But yeah. So and it's so funny because it, like you said, you mentioned different types of industries, and like now I'm in healthcare, and you would think it would be a little bit more understanding because you need something from me. Yeah. So you would think that some type of like respect or like just kindness is there. Right. And it's so funny because one of the things that really grinds my gears is like HIPAA verification. And you would think most people know that when it comes to healthcare, you're going to be HIPAA verified. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you some redundant questions that you may have gave to every person before you. Yeah. But I have to do this. I'm literally doing my job. I'm not, if I could go straight to talking to you, I would definitely do it. Right. Get you off my line. Right. But I can't. Like, I have to do this because even if I were to do that, I would get the blowback for it. So it's like, I can't exactly do it. So that has been one of the most like aggravating things, and I can only imagine how worse it would be if it was in person. Yeah. So when you do get those like people who are like, they're frustrated, they're like, hey, this is not about you. I'm really sorry. You know, this is my third time I've called, really frustrated. Like, I just really want to get this resolved. Got you.
Gotcha.
Understand. I'm going to zip through this. Just give me your attention and we can get what you need. But the ones, like, I tell them that, like, I can tell, you know, on the phone that they're upset or they're just, like, over it. And I'm like, hey, okay, before we get started, let me let you know that some of the things that you told a person before me,
you have to say it again.
You have to say it again. I wish we could bypass it. I can't. But if you just bear with me, we'll get through this really fast.
Right.
Okay, yeah, just whatever you got to do. All right. So can you provide me this? I just gave the person. I'm like,
no, sir.
I just gave you that precursor.
We just crossed that bridge.
I just told you we're going to have to do this. And so now I'm just at a point, I just get quiet because, you know, it was someone, and I also realized through this, you would think because you work from home, you're not actually seeing these people, that it wouldn't bother you that much. But honestly, I don't know if it's because I'm fragile or emotional that it really bothers me sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe a week or two ago, someone was on the line and she was having a really bad day.
Sure.
And I sympathized with her, but I kept trying to get her to understand I'm trying to help. Like, allow me to help you. Like, you can't interrupt me every other word. And it was one of those like calls where like, okay, well, let me no. I'm like, okay, no. Like every word, like every time I tried to say something, she just came at me.
Right.
And like afterwards, I just shut down. Like I didn't say anything. And she's like, this is stupid, and just hung up. So I went on break and I cried. And like I cried initially because she hurt my feelings, and I cried again because like, girl, why you crying? And then I cried even more because I'm like, you need to be harder for yourself. So it was just like
it's a toxic cycle. It sounds
oh my God. It really was. And so I just sat on my porch and was just like, this is why I smoke weed. Because like you just put me through so much, like,
oh my God,
and you're gonna get off this phone and you're gonna go eat your dinner and forget about it. I'm gonna sit here and be like, shoot, why did she do this? Like, and I was like, this is why I do what I do, because I can't imagine, like, how do you deal with this sober?
Yes. Oh my God.
And you know, like I said, it's just, oh God. But yeah, I can honestly say I never expected to be in sales at all ever in my life. And I'll never do it again.
Similarly with you having to ask questions that they've already been asked a number of times before. So with my position, I'm not sales, but I'm post-sales. So it's once the salesperson has sold them a marketing campaign package, they come to me. Well, if it's not a transfer, then they come to me and I set up the campaign from the get-go. But it involves going over with them all the basic info of their business again. Right. And sometimes they're like that way too. They're like, I just told this person, like, I understand that, but I need to make sure that before I send this to a design team, so that these words, this information, this name is cemented in the digital sphere, that it's accurate. So just bear with me for 2 seconds. And those calls all the time, we call them goals confirmation calls. For me, ideally, they would take it like 20 minutes. I've had ones that are like an hour and 50 minutes long.
No way.
Lord have mercy. And part of me,
if they don't have any personality, it's so cringe.
It's that, and it's like, and I've like gone over it in my head, like, am I just shit at doing it? Like, is that the issue? Am I the drama? But I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm thinking about how these people responded to my questions, because we're talking about their business eventually.
Right.
Talk about their business, main points, quality of your business. What are your services, right? So
things you should know.
Things you should be prepared to talk about, right? And they just, either one person would just take forever and go on tangents every single time I asked them a question. Another person had like a group of people sitting behind him, and he'd have to confer with them for every single question. And we're going over SEO, we're going over content, we're going over design. And that's why it takes almost 2 hours for me to do it. And now I've gotten down to an hour.
Hey,
I still have to work it down like two-thirds more until I'm at like a good time for it. But yeah, having to be repetitive, it's like, I don't want to say it's healthy to learn that you have to anticipate anger and frustration, but it's an unavoidable part of the environment.
What is your coping technique? Because for me, when I first get a phone call, my first thing is, I say my little script, my intro script, and then I'll say, well, how are you today?
Right.
Based on that answer, that lets me know how this phone call is going to go.
Yeah. For me, we do have like a whole talk track that we can like follow the whole time. I recently just departed from it.
Okay.
Because I feel like me trying to say everything here is going to be part of the time problem. But at the same time, it's like coping for me is like just getting up and walking around because I can't sit at that chair. And granted, I'm only a month and a half into this new position, but it's like even when you're in training for the first month, they're telling you like get up and walk around.
Yeah,
we do
I heard
not
that
expect you to be in there at that chair the whole time.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Go get a drink because they have like a little deli in there. It's still nice. But like go get a drink, get water.
Do you
get
have
a snack.
wireless headphones?
No, I want to invest in some. They do kind of give you kind of the same brand of them, and they're kind of small for my head. So, so I need to get some bigger ones, or like look into some wireless ones for sure.
So how are you like walking and talking?
Oh, it's not when I'm talking. I have to endure the call and then get.
Oh, I was like, let me know how you do that.
Yeah, and I mean, I see a lot of people do have like their AirPods hooked up to their phones.
Okay.
So yeah, in some of the cases they can't just kind of walk around. And granted, when I was in training and I was trying to understand visually in my head what the job would look like, in my head I was like, because there's some nice like windows that overview like South Tryon where I work, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm gonna be like in a nice outfit, walking across the windows, so luxuriously pitching my sales to this person, and that's not how it is.
I love your imagination.
I'm still in like first job I've had in forever where I can wear jeans, the denim. Oh, I miss the denim. Literally, so we did like a a virtual open house as part of the interview process. Yes, and it was like me and I think almost 30 other candidates for the job, plus a handful of the managers who were running it. And they were showing us pictures, and I legit held them up for a second and said, "Hey, quick question. Based on the pictures I'm seeing, we can wear denim. Is that true?" And they confirmed it for me, and I was like, "I'm getting this fucking job." Because I didn't know, because I was at the time in the pot for a job with Duke Energy, which would have been a fantastic job.
Right.
And I hate that I didn't get it, but it would have been dress pants again. And I was like, I'm so done with dress pants. I'm done with the dress shoes. I'm done with the dress pants. It's just not me anymore. So the fact that I can wear denim now,
You're loving it.
It's so
You're
nice.
loving it.
My ass is so much happier.
Listen,
I don't sweat nearly as much.
Okay, I understand that. I'm the opposite because, of course, I work from home.
Yeah.
So, sometimes when it's like one of those mornings, I throw my robe on and I get on the phone. But, I miss getting up and getting dressed and getting ready for work.
But like specifically in like dress pants and like a whole, because you had a whole shebang on when you were a concierge.
Yeah.
With the blazer and everything.
Okay, I had the blazers, I had the dresses, the skirts. I miss all of it.
So you missed the whole shebang.
I missed the whole shebang.
People are different.
Yeah.
I don't understand it,
Don't
but
get me wrong. I would love like a casual day.
Yeah,
like,
casual Friday. Yeah, for sure.
something like that. But like I actually miss getting up, which is really odd. And I'm almost feeling like, maybe I don't make the best decisions because of the gas prices at the moment.
Sure.
So it's like, how dare you want to go back out there in the world when you have a good thing going, ma'am?
Oh my God. Yeah, the gas situation is just it's such an unnecessary factor. It really, really is, but it's a thing, and it's like,
I know. And what can you do? You have to get around.
Yeah, and it used to take me $30 to fill up my caddy, and now it's $60, and I think it's full.
You know what?
It hurts.
You should be really glad. I have a cousin who has a big pickup truck.
Now, do they have to have the pickup truck, or is it like?
Well, she bought it way before the gas prices, so at this point, it's a necessity.
Yeah.
$150 to fill it up. So
I think my ass will just closed up.
So $60 is pretty good. $60 is pretty good.
Okay. What's it called? Oh my God. Okay, never mind. I was gonna have a nice little retort to that, but I lost it. Perspective. There it is. Perspective. But yeah, damn, cousin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Damn. Where does she live?
Sucks for her. She lives in like outside of Greensboro. Okay.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Mm-hmm. What kind of is she a big traveler for her job? at least
where they live at, they have to travel. So like, you know, so yeah, basically yes.
Yeah.
But she recently came. She done my hair. And I was like, you know, I got the cousin discount. So I was like, so how much do I owe you? She was like, I just charge you for gas. And I was like, please do not tell me it's gonna be $150. And she was like, no, I just take $45. And I was like, bless you, thank you. Oh my God.
Still $105 though. Oh my God. But hey, yeah, I'll take that cousin 45% discount or whatever that percentage is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Well,
works.
no, it was only $45 I had to give her. So it was a steal.
Oh, I think she took $45 off.
No.
So you still owed like $105.
No, girl, I would have looked at her like, I know you lying.
Oh my God! So, did she drive all the way down here just for the sake of giving you highlights, or just like
just to do my hair? Yeah. So
that's a good cousin.
Love you, girl.
That's a good cousin. She took off. How much is that? $105.
Yes. So shout out to you.
Yeah.
I love you.
Ooh, I wish I had cousins like that. Bitches.
Well, I don't have any siblings either, so you know.
Fair enough. Well,
they kind of make up for it.
My siblings, what are they good for? Jesus. Lord. So my brother, and this is a weird ass tangent, but my brother, he recently finally moved out of the house, and he's living like near Birkdale Village.
Okay.
And so we have family friends that our parents have known each other since before we were born. Mm-hmm. They moved down here a couple of years after we did, and their eldest daughter and I, who are really close, we would always like me, her, and my brother would go out to dinner all the time. But the past 4 months, he's blown us off consistently. Today, I'm going to get my car fixed over in Cheryl's Fort because that's where she has her shop at. Mm-hmm. And she tells me that suddenly Ben wants to go to dinner with her and not include me.
Oh.
She's worried that it's going to be like a date.
Ooh.
So good luck, bro. She's not like that. But
you never know.
She told me she's not.
But that one date alone, you never know. That's how things happen.
Lord have mercy.
It'll be good though.
But yeah, I'm still kind of like not red, but I'm like a little. I'm irked. Like of all the times you've blown us off, now you want to do dinner? Whatever, bro. Whatever, bro. That's okay. I'm not very salty about it.
Listen,
Look,
those sibling problems. You know, for most of my life, I always wanted a sibling. I was like, always low key hating on people who did. But at the ripe age of 31, I'm so glad I'm the only child because I only have me to worry about.
Yeah.
Now, I would be a lot better if I had my husband. I want to be by myself.
Same.
But
I'll tell you what, though, working off South Tryon in Charlotte, seeing all these boys,
options?
So many options, man. Yeah. They all dumpy, and then if they're not, well, no, even if they're like 6 something, they still dumpy.
What do you mean dumpy? What's dumpy?
Double kicked up in the backside.
Oh my God!
Come on, like dumpy, yes.
Oh my Lord.
Okay, I just went somewhere. I'm good. I'm back.
Are you back?
I'm back. I'll be going somewhere after this though.
Okay.
Not to make it weird, but I have my needs. Anyway.
We got to live, baby. We got to live.
So going through the different positions when I have had so many positions in the past handful of years alone, trying to I feel like during the weekdays of Monday through Friday, we try to get a reprise when we go home. Mm-hmm. But ultimately, it's just this back-to-back consecutive taking of us.
Right.
When it comes to the weekends, what are your best mental health, relaxation? I'm going to do me because I know this bitch on Monday, 2 days from now, is going to take more shit from me. What do you do to regain what you feel you've lost?
Oh, that's a really good question.
Yes.
I love that question. One, sleeping in.
Yeah.
That's my major thing. Like, I'm not a big morning person.
Mm-hmm.
I think the morning is beautiful, and if I'm able to get up and see it and take my times in it, then great. Mm-hmm. But honestly, just having a really intentional morning, right?
Yeah.
Where I can get up at my leisure when my alarm is not sounding. Maybe have some breakfast. Again, I'm not really like early morning breakfast person. I'm more of a brunch person.
Sure.
So a good brunch is always good. And again, like I said, tapping into my plant-based lifestyle.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And just maybe getting up with some friends.
Yeah.
lately, some of my good girlfriends, we're all single. So we like kind of made it a point to get back out there into the dating world physically, like not online or just talking to the guy who broke your heart 1,000 times, none of that. So we, last Friday, we went out. So that was really fun. We just kind of, we're all either in our 30s or like coming into our 30s this year. Mm-hmm. So around the same age. So it was really nice, kind of like, I don't want to say club hopping because we didn't club hop. Yeah. We just went from like bar. Yeah. But that was really fun. So I think just finding the time to do what you want, right? Yeah. And sometimes that's not knowing anything. Yeah. And that's okay. For sure. If your bills are paid or if you got a program worked out with them. Yeah. Because sometimes you got some things on some payment plans. Yeah. Especially in this climate. I don't care what these boomers say, okay? Dude, everything cannot be fixed by forfeiting your 4 for 4 at Wendy's, okay?
No.
But just doing things that like you intentionally make you happy.
Right.
So if that means, at 10 o'clock, I'm cutting off all communication. I'm going to, and this is my guilty pleasure, like lay on my couch and look at Judge Judy in the People's Court. That's what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. If I don't feel like washing dishes, I'm not going to watch them. So just really being intentional about what I do mm-hmm. during my downtime. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do. What about you?
I'm in a weird space right now where it's like, I don't do anything anyway. I mean, I'm either gaming or I'm watching. I just got access to my brother's HBO Max, so I'm like I'm binging Gossip Girl right now.
Oh, nice.
Oh, it's so nice. But at the same time, it's like where I am in Mooresville. Mm-hmm. Granted, I could go out and do stuff now because I just got paid and I was broke.
Just got paid.
But it's like I've been to Mooresville. I've been in Mooresville for coming on 20 years now.
Okay.
And I'm just like at a point where I need a new environment because even if I choose not to do something, I'm very wishy-washy in the sense that I'll switch my mind or my choice at the turn of a hat. I don't think that's the proper phrase, but you know what I mean. But like I'll switch gears real quickly. And so I'll start off the morning, my coffee. Mm-hmm. Ideally, it's a fall morning, so if I could wake up to fall every morning, that would just be how I do my life. But summer apparently has to happen. I don't know why, but summer's here. And with me not having a working AC compressor right now in my car.
Oh, okay, you're feeling it.
And I got some shit yesterday. But yeah, I feel like because I'm like that and I can switch around real quick. I'd like to start off the morning again, coffee, fruit. I don't necessarily want to cook, but if I feel bougie, I'll make some kind of like omelet or something like that for me.
You're an eggs person.
But definitely do that and maybe do that till like 10 o'clock. I am a pretty early person. I want to be able to wake up early, refreshed, but my dumbass is always going to sleep until like 2 o'clock in the morning. So it never pans out. But when I can, on those rare occasions where I can do that, I want to like be up, take care of that stuff, 10 o'clock, maybe go out on the town. If I can walk to the town, even better, because I don't want to have to necessarily drive to town. And where I am in Mooresville, like we're not within walking distance of even historic downtown. We're a good 2 miles away from there, but everything happens 4 miles away. So it's like, come on, what the hell am I going to do up here? Whereas I'm pretty sure almost anywhere down here in Charlotte, like you can walk somewhere and do something in Charlotte. That's why I want to relocate here. Yeah. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. And my parents, because I'm still with them, and it's like, yeah, I'm 28 with my parents. Calm down. But
listen, my ex, me and him recently broke up, and he still lived at home with his parents, and he thought that was going to be like a major red flag for me, and I was like, no, it's not. Yeah. Because if you look at these rent prices, okay, and if you want to live kind of bourgeois, all right, you better stay at home. Yeah. Until you can save your buckets.
Lord have mercy. I wish. Granted, so. I'll hold off on that tangent. But yeah, my parents want to do a whole bunch of work on the weekends. I'm like, why? Why? And granted, so my dad just left a position that he wasn't happy with. So he's at home right now. Mom's biggest income in the house. So my dad's just kind of doing a lot of housework right now. And like in the weekends, they're still doing more shit. It's like, first of all, Like my dad, because he's a neat freak, he's doing a lot more than he really needs to on any given weekday at the house. My mom, full time, but she's also a manager, so that's not always just 40 hours a week. A lot of times it's a lot more than that.
Right.
And so, but like, so why are y'all out in the middle of a North Carolina summer on Saturday the 16th putting together a really bougie ass glass chandelier for the foyer?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Plus you're like doing other, like you're weeding and doing shit like that. They want to do a bond. Yeah. It's like, first of all, they convinced me that I am never going to own a house because I do not want to take care of a yard. I have zero issues in the yard.
That's one thing I can't wait for.
Really?
Listen, I want a garden. I want to mow the grass.
If I can move into the gardens there, I'm good.
Okay. I mean, I get that though, because garden is
designer garden. Yeah, and you know, with like 2020 and the pandemic, so many people had turned their like energy that pent up can't go anywhere energy into their yard, right? So they now, as a result of that, have this like not luxurious, but they have so many additions now in their front and backyard that they have to upkeep, and it doesn't bother them. I don't get that. What are you doing? Because this is why y'all are tired. This is why y'all are tired when I want to like do something as a family on a Saturday, like, because you're wasting your energy doing yard shit. Like, Dad is home. Let Daddy do it.
But I think it's Daddy's home. I think it's one of those things where like when you pull up or you leave, come back, it makes you feel good seeing it. You know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, oh, well, look at this, beautiful. You know.
And I did that.
The other neighbors suck.
Man, my neighbor.
I know. I'm about to say I've heard
she watched
about
my
your
TikToks.
neighbor. Yes, I've seen the neighbor.
Haven't seen him
and that's another reason to be outside because he's outside. So let's go put that out there.
Past a week and a half, and I've been looking, but shit, Lord. But yeah, like, I'm in that weird place. I'm not really in a settled, ideal place for my weekend catch up of energy type thing.
I understand that. I think the only reason I still have that weekend set up because. Even in the midst of, like, I'm just gonna be very frank, even in the midst of my depression throughout the year, I had a boyfriend, so he would keep me, you know what I mean? It was like almost like a hidden depression. He really didn't know how bad it was.
Right.
But it was there, and because he was active and he wanted to, you know, take me out and, you know, do different stuff, it kept me, you know, in that mindset. So even when after we broke up, it was easier for me to kind of transition. And, you know, sometimes when you're alone, you can, well, not only did I go to therapy. Yeah. That's one. I went to therapy, so that helped a lot too with, you know, the breakup and being depressed and stuff like that.
Sure.
But it kept me in the mindset of I need to be active, like I need to do things. And then just thankfully, I think a lot of people over the last 2 years, we're going through different things. And this year, people are feeling a lot more lively. Yeah. So, you know, we're back outside. Yep. Catch me outside. But we know we're back outside. We're more, I know, right? But she's getting money, though. But
I know. Ain't that a bitch about how the system is set up? Fuck.
Right. Yeah, she's getting a lot.
What do I do with my life?
But so yeah, you know, we're back outside. We're back, you know, seeing people, not too scared to go see people. Concerts are back.
Granted, certain people were never scared.
Right, right. You know, I love a good concert.
Yes.
I love a good concert. Yes. And just like activities and things are back. So it makes it a little bit easier now. But honestly, it's been kind of hard.
And Charlotte has like beautiful places like Camp North End and like places where they do. I forgot where we went that one day. We saw our friend do in that kind of excuse me, back room drag show.
Oh, Plaza Midwood.
Plaza Midwood, yes. And I have not been back there, I think, since that day. But they had, I think that night, I don't know if there was like a carnival going on or like some kind of like arts showcase, but like all that community energy there. I don't get that in fucking Mooresville. Right. Mooresville is just like 150 by. It's really like that. Unless you find yourself upon Williamson, then maybe that's something else, but that's about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Lord, that's why I need Charlotte. But like,
I've always heard of like hidden gems in Mooresville.
Depends on how hidden.
Well, do you like the lake?
I did. We used to have a boat. We don't have it anymore. So I can't comment on the lake. It's been like years.
Okay.
It's been a while.
Because I hear a lot of people like do a lot of things at the lake, the area.
Yeah.
Lake Norman?
Lake Norman. Yeah. You'll definitely find certain coves where like you can like come across like 11 linked up boats. And people are just, it's a whole freaking fiesta over there.
Join in. Be like, hey.
Join in. And they're like, who the fuck are you?
Our bro beer.
Oh, hey.
Exactly.
BYOB, I'll bring your beer.
Just let me know.
Just let me know. Or White Claw. I like White Claw.
It's, I've never had a White Claw before.
It's actually nice. I do
really
like them white girls. That's what my brother said when I brought home like a variety pack the other weekend. He's like, bitch, are you a white girl? Like, I mean, first of all, I'm basic as fuck. So.
Kind of.
Yes.
Kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah. I'm going on a boat ride for the first time tomorrow.
Ooh.
I'm so excited.
Where you going? Is it going to be Lake Norman?
Lake Wiley.
Lake Wiley. Gotcha.
And like, it was just an impromptu invite, but I was just like, I've always wanted to do one. So hell yeah.
What kind of boat?
I'm not sure. It's like a rental.
Okay.
But I can't swim. So, I hope they got the little thingy thing.
So is it going to a life preserver?
Yes, thank you.
Or
preserve this life, please. Please preserve this life.
So wait, is it gonna be like one of those like kind of like tour boats, like the Lady of the Lake or the Catawba Queen, or like someone's personal boat?
No, it's like a tour boat, but
Gotcha.
like you can rent it. So yeah, some friends are renting a boat in like for Father's Day.
Oh, right, that's tomorrow.
Exactly. I forgot to.
Yep. And you know what? I even offered to cook tomorrow morning, and my dad's like, I don't want you to cook. I'm like, well, I got nothing else, so.
No, I got nothing else. You're out in the city, go get him a gift.
That's a good point.
Sir. I
wouldn't know where to go, and I know where to go, like in Mooresville, but like he's got so many weapons already.
I mean, it's the same thing. It's just a bigger city to do it.
Yeah.
So kind of like pinpoint what you want to get him.
Yeah.
Just throw it in Google. It'll direct you.
Fair enough.
No, my dad passed away, so I ain't got those problems.
Right. Yeah. My dad's still alive, but his mother passed away a month ago.
Okay, so you gotta be a little nice to him.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
A little bit.
But yeah, so I'm really excited about that boat ride though. And I made sure to put it out there. I was like, hey, I really want to go, but I can't swim. Is that going to be a problem? Can somebody save me? Right. And she was like, yeah, we can save you. I'm like, gotcha. Cool.
We can save you. So we're still tossing you in the water. Is what I heard. That's what I heard.
Because when I get out that water, somebody's ass is going to be mine.
If they save you.
Listen, let me tell you something. Funny story. Last year, I went to my friend's lazy river in her community. Right?
Oh, lazy river.
I almost drowned. Yes. Y'all know how low the water level is in lazy river. I almost drowned, real life. Like, not even joking. Like, I didn't like confuse it with just being underwater. Yeah. No, I almost drowned. And like, I kept going around and around. And then I came back up and I was like, oh, she was like, stand up. And I was like, what? She's like, stand up. And I was like, oh.
Oh my God.
So like, I kind of wish somebody had recorded it because like that was unbelievable. And I like to think I have a lot of good common sense.
Right.
And not that day. I was dying. Like I remember I stood up and I was just like, I'm gonna get out.
Recompose.
Right, because you gotta grab your breath. Because I'm like, because I can't. Like, I don't process what to do. So I'm like, oh my God. And she was just like, you're okay. Like,
Jasmine, it's 3 feet of water. You're fine.
First of all, I'm only 4'11", so that's a lot. That's a lot for me. If we want to be honest, that is a lot.
Oh my God.
But yeah, and she lives in Waxhaw, which is kind of bougie in the other area.
Yeah.
North Carolina. And I remember like standing up and I looked like around the, like the pool deck, whatever. Yeah. And this white dude, he just looking at me square like this, like, and I was just like, you could have helped me. And I got out of the pool and I was like, I'm just going to go over here and recover. I won't be in there anymore. And so maybe like 2 times I kept seeing him. It looked like it was so much fun. I was like, let me just ease it down. Because like at that time I grabbed onto the wall. I was like, not again. Because my whole head, and like, I was like a rolling ball. Okay.
Oh my God.
It was the funniest thing, Brandon. Now it's funny. Then I thought I was dying. I was mad nobody helped me. Like, I was mad at my friend, and I was embarrassed. And then I was mad at this white man just looking at me.
Was he a part of the group or just like some random white dude?
Random white man. But he had front row seat. Like, when I tell you, he had front row seat to my demise. And like, when I looked at him, the way he was looking at me, pissing me off. Because he was just like, you cannot be serious. And I was just like, you could have helped.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I hope they don't. I'm pretty sure they're not gonna throw me in the pool.
On the bright side, by the way you mentioned going round and round, it sounds like you have the right propulsion capability. It's just the direction of the like actual implication seems to be a bit skewed.
And let me tell you something. I don't do no type of flips. I don't flip. I don't
Like
cartwheel. I don't do anything. And suddenly my ass was acrobatic as hell. Like just woo, woo. And like I don't know, like you know how you remember like a moment and you can just like screen like, you know, snapshot every part of it.
Yeah.
And when I came up and I saw my friend's face, she was just like, stand up. It was the funniest thing, man. The funniest thing.
She's like, I'm happy no one got that on camera.
Yes. And it was my friend and then her friend. Thankfully, we all knew each other, like, you know, but like the faces was just unbelievable. It was so funny and so embarrassing. So that's why I had to like, and then where the lifeguards? You didn't see me twirling about in this lazy river. But I guess everybody thought, girl, just stand up. like
that, but if you kept going, you probably thought, oh, she's doing that on purpose. She totally knows what she's doing. She's showing off is what she's doing.
Had no type of buoyancy, okay? I was like, I thought at one point I was supposed to float. Like, what happened? Because I had the little thing on.
You had a floatie on?
Yes. So I'm like, when was this going to save me? So yeah.
I wonder if that's why you kept flipping, because it kept pulling you up, but then you kept flying around.
Brandon, I almost died. And it was so funny. I told anybody that would listen, that's exactly what I said. I was like, God. I almost died Saturday. They're like, what? Oh my God, what happened? I was like, well, I was in Lazy River. And everyone's like, stop. Excuse you? Ma'am, can you take a shower safely? Because, like, what happened? So yeah, that's my story, and I stick to it. I almost died. No one helped me.
Saved me.
Like not even reach out a hand. I guess it was like, you're not gonna drag me with you. Like, you can't even handle 3 feet.
Oh my God! I was gonna talk about something funny about when I went to begin New River up in the mountains, but that just took it all out of me.
So I'm really hoping that everything goes with them all.
Yes.
I'm going with her parents too, so I feel like they're not gonna let that happen to me. I'm like,
you thought about your friend too.
Well, we the same age, so you know how that is. Yeah, kind of on your own. But her parents are like, you know, like my adopted parents. So
right. Okay.
I feel really. That's the only reason. Now, if she told me she was going on a boat with nothing but people our age, hell no, I ain't. No. They won't let me die.
No, it's gonna be about Snapchat and TikTok first.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh my God, could you imagine going viral with that? Oh my God, that was like
so many people who get caught on these unintended like viral
thankfully
videos.
It was last year, and like I said, the community she was in was very much older.
Yeah, so
if it had been like, you know, maybe at the YMCA or something, somebody definitely would have took a video of me drowning in the lazy river. But thankfully no one caught me, but I almost died.
She almost died on Saturday.
I almost died on Saturday. Just let you know. And my mom, when I first told her, because that's exactly how I told her. And I was like, Mom, guess what? She was like, what? I was like, I'm glad to be alive. She's like, what happened? I was like, I almost died on Saturday. And then when I told her, we're from a little small country town. So when I said it, she was like, it didn't click. She thought I was saying like a river. Like I was in a river. And then I kept telling her, and then it was like she got quiet and she was like, what's the lazy river? And I was like, you know, little things that be at the, you know, like community, like parks and stuff, whatever. She's like, how deep is that? And I was just like, it ain't about how deep. It's about my lungs being filled, my ears, like my nose.
It's about how I expected that to be the moment that ended it all.
Right. Like, but I'm here. I'm here.
Oh my God. Sorry, Mama.
Right. She didn't understand.
Lord have mercy. Oh my gosh. But like, so, be forewarned. Doing things on the weekends that are meant to help you regain what you lost during the week can take a lot more from you.
Yes.
I will say, so I did go tubing down New River once in the mountains for orientation. Okay. But Yeah, so I think we were in the river for like 2 hours, something like that.
Okay.
Just floating along. There was one girl in the group though. She was like towards the edge, and there was a stork drinking water or like looking for fish, and then suddenly it had to lift its beak up because this girl in a tube just came like this far from its face, just came floating by. It just went like this, like
the hell.
Was that a fish?
Should I eat that?
And then she realized and she flipped the fuck out and she fell out of her it fell out of her tube.
Oh my God.
The bird flew away, but that was pretty funny. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Good times. Good nice rest and reprieve during the river. Oh, for sure. Do you have any particular moments in current job or past jobs that tested your mental health in a way that you weren't prepared for?
Oh, absolutely. The job when you shared together, I was not prepared
Which
for
one?
that. The concierge.
Okay.
That was not the job. Well, first of all, our radio job was very testy. Brandon more so than myself, because I was bitchy right along with her. Like, we can do this back and forth if you want to.
Yeah.
But I would have to say the concierge job, it tested my mental health so much.
Yeah.
And I think that's the reason why when it ended, I did kind of found myself in a depression.
Sure.
Because I felt like I gave so much to the job. And I wanted to be in a place where I could grow with the company.
Yeah.
I think, coming from my radio job where we felt like we were stuck.
Yeah.
Like we were never going to get anywhere type thing. And then when I came here, I'm listening to my boss tell me about this amazing, growth she's had. She went from being a leasing agent to now you're the manager, property manager. So I'm like, damn, it's doable.
Yeah.
And I'm participating in the business trainings and I went to the award show and I'm seeing all these major people in the company. Like, I'm like, this is doable. Like, this is absolutely doable. And so when I started realizing that like that wasn't going to be the case for me. Yeah. And honestly, looking back on it now, I knew it's because of my looks. I didn't match the look that they were looking for. For the most part, I wasn't, tall, blonde, and blue eyes. Sure. So that had an effect on me because it was just like, damn, like what age are we in? Like, are you serious? Like, I'm hardworking as shit. Like, anything you ask me to do, like, I do it. I'm, professional. I handle all these problems. I take on shit all the time. So that was really just really disappointing when it ended. And I kind of felt like what am I working towards? Like, what is all of this? Like, my at that moment, I no longer was doing a podcast. Doing my podcast I had and just kind of being in that media realm, which, the reason why I started is because radio wasn't giving me the opportunity. So I started that because I wanted to show the people that I had the, skill set and all those kind of things. Right. So I felt like, okay, so not only did this not work, this didn't work, and I didn't even ask for this job. This kind of fell upon me. Yeah. And so all of that combined together, it just really did take a toll on me I guess just feeling like I was lost, you know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of people in our older generations, they're used to having that feeling when it comes to employment. Right. So it's kind of like, you need to get over that. You need to just go to work, and stay there. Stay there for 30 years so you can retire. Right. You need to have that mindset. And that was kind of the things like, unfortunately, my mom was telling me. I was just like, you're getting older now, so you need to realize what are you going to be doing? Like, you need to have a job for 20 years. You can't keep flip-flopping with jobs. And so I was just like, but like, one, I didn't ask to be let go. So that's one. Yeah. Two, like, I think a lot of us are at a point where we're like, we're no longer just want to work to work. We want to work and be happy we're going to this job. I want to feel appreciated. I want to know that my hard work is not only going to give me like a quote unquote reward, right? Like, my hard work is something I want to do. Like, even if, let's say if I got a job and they say, you know what, for the next 2 to 3 years, you're only going to make $60,000. That's it. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, that's the only thing we can do. After your 3-year mark, you have increases yearly, whatever, stuff like that. And if it's something that I love to do, I would do it. I would legit do it.
Especially $60,000 a year.
I'm just using that even for like, even if it was $40,000. Yeah. If it's something that like I truly like find joy into doing, even in the bad days, I will absolutely sign up for it.
Because it won't take more than it needs to from you.
Exactly.
And likely when it's something you
be
want to
willing
do,
to give it.
the challenges that come with that world are what you're anticipating. So you accept it. Or not even just accept it, but you welcome it.
Exactly.
Because it's part of that world that you want to be a part of.
And I like challenges, so that's no problem for me.
Yeah.
But when you're doing something that you know is not a necessity, you don't have a real love for it.
Right.
It's just a situation where it's like, I have to pay these bills. And on top of that, you stress about it.
Yeah.
Because more than likely, you're not getting paid what you really need.
True.
So, that kind of opens up a whole new can of worms where it's just like, what am I doing?
Right. Yeah.
Kind of go back to that that mindset of it's just like, I'm lost. How am I going to pay these bills? How am I going to get the things that everybody say we need?
Right.
The cars and the house. Because when you get in your 30s, oh no, you can't be living in an apartment. But you've been knowing with yourself. And so taking these trips and all these things you want to do.
Right.
That is so glamorized in society. It definitely took me to like a really dark place. Only because it just felt like everything that had worked for up to that point,
right,
kind of like crashed down. And I speak about this briefly, but like when I was younger, in my younger years, like 20 to like around 23, I had got mixed up in some trouble, right?
Okay.
And I had like went on probation, and it was just another dark time for me.
Sure, yeah.
But I was young, so I was just like, I can get through this. And I totally revamped my whole life. Like the person I am now was not the person I was going to be if I had went down that path, you know? So I always felt that resilience, and I always felt that drive for me to make things happen. And so, fast forward when 2021 came, it was just like, you got this. You don't make it happen. And I didn't have no fight. And so it was just like, wait, hold up. Like, this is not me. Like, girl, you are big on just rolling with the punches and making things happen. And so when that fight was just weak as hell, I was just like, wait a minute. Is this really happening? Like, oh my God. Like, girl, fight for this. Like, do this, This a little boy staring at me outside the window. And I was but it was just like, it was really like off-putting, because I kind of almost hung my head on the fact that I did change my life. I did, reshape the trajectory. Am I saying it right?
Trajectory.
Yeah. Of like where I was going. So when this happened, I just, just like the first month, I was like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to get me a job, and I'm going to show you,
Yeah.
And it was just like, I'm going to show you, boo. I'm going to show you, boo.
So, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Bet.
So, you're right.
For the radio job, that was definitely kind of a weird thing. I feel like through that, it was tough, but it was like, I was more thinking like what I'd been sold coming out of college. Like I was sold like a faulty product. Like I was sold something that just didn't fit the reality.
I feel like so many people feel that way right now.
Oh, my friends from college, we all were like going hard for it. Yeah, they're like, no, this was not what we were expecting, especially with whom we were working with and what we got to do beforehand. They're like, no, that's not it. But I think the hard position for me was a position I took right out the gate from there, which was working. It was my first communications management position. It was for a construction company, nonprofit. And the work itself is what drew me in, because it's like veteran-oriented construction, good storytelling, because I was in Statesville. So it was a shorter commute, which was nice, but it was hard from the get-go, not because of the work itself, but because of the ethics of the team I was on. So like on the face of it, they were very nice people for sure. But day 2, I realized that, and not to jump into politics hardcore in any way, but I realized this was an environment where I was only going to be okay so long as I operated within a certain vicinity or like within a certain
you couldn't be your full self, basically.
Yeah, essentially. I couldn't be full on who I was. And I went along with
an inclusive environment.
It really wasn't. And I heard growing up, the parents I have, especially my mother, when it comes to things like racism, you'll see nothing piss her off more. Maybe sexism will piss her off, and it does piss her off quickly.
Right.
But racism will, like, she will go from 0 to 150 so fast, my mother. And that comes from the fact that with a huge Mexican family that we have on her side, with all of our cousins who have so many shades in my family,
right.
and the shit they went through that she didn't have to go through because she has a white dad, and so that filtered through. She's white passing. I grew up with like I can't stand it. Being in the environment that I was, where it wasn't prevalent, but it was there, and I heard it, and it was in the air. It made the air feel weird at times, and it's thick. Almost like crooked. You know, people say like when someone speaks, the air comes out of their mouth crooked. It was kind of like that. The whole, I think 7 or 8 months I was with them was just that feeling every day. Like, I did my job for sure. Like, you know, I went out and took video, which was fun. We went to events, which was fun. I did some production work. I was doing like web design and maintenance and like email campaigns, and it was all fun and stuff. But like, knowing that that was the only way I could be quote unquote safe, not that I felt like my life was like in danger in an extreme way, but like where that was the only way I could be accepted was just doing the job. Like, I couldn't be as myself as everyone else around me had no issues doing it, because
they were that at the core.
It would have been off. It would have been the opposite of what they were for and what they supported, and all of that on top of the fact that I was a lot further from what I had wanted to do professionally, which of course was actually be an on-air talent for radio.
Right.
You know, the position you and I had was not on-air talent. It was not what we would call it. There was vocal work, but at least on my end, they wouldn't let you do vocal work for stupid ass reasons. But it wasn't what we expected and hoped to do. So this job was, aside from that environment, that toxicity, on top of it being so much further, not even at all the same of what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I ended up having to leave that job for me at that point, because I was at a point where it's like, I don't know what I want to do. I know for sure I can't be with this environment longer than I already have been, and I need to reset. So I left that, and I think I was unemployed for a couple months. I was at home, so it wasn't a huge deal, but I had bills. And so that got a little sucky for a while, but that was like a low point, because I was like, I got to a point where I couldn't operate, not because I couldn't do the job, but because I couldn't find the stuff to give the job. I didn't have it anymore.
It drains you.
And so on the face of my announcement of leaving, what I gave them was, I have personal things going on and I'm not able to operate in a way that would benefit you, is what I told them. When the reality is, I can't stay in this environment because it's causing me to lock down and not
question myself.
Question myself, not be able to humanely express myself. I can't stay here. But yeah, that was the hard point for me, I think, out of my recent positions.
So I got a question for you. You know, we've always kind of navigated pursuing professional careers, but also having like this niche where we wanted to create our own type of, reality. So I know for me, last year, another part that really brought me down was, you know, I had to take a break because I had so much going on. The first 3 months of the new year, I had found out some major like health issues. And I was like, whoa, you know, so that kind of took me off my A game with like podcasting and doing the media stuff. And then it just like trickled down from there. It was like every month it was something different. And it was just like, shit, I can't do this right now, you know? But has it, in the course of, you know, you finding your way, whatever, I know for me, over the last year, another thing that has really kind of made some low moments was seeing people that were, you know, right there with me making those headways make it.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, doing the things that you wanted to do, or, you know, not even a jealous mindset, but it's just like, damn, it kind of makes you think, like, if I had just kept going, if I had just pushed through it, or this is and that, I could be there too, or just feeling like you're left. You know what I mean? It's like, well, I lifted you up. Like, could you just bring me up with you?
Yeah,
like, you know, how have you dealt with that? Because I mean, that's something that I'm still struggling with, to be honest.
Yeah, and I mean, so to start off with, like, my physical health, I've never been in the best spot, and I'm like, I have this horrible habit of just not, like, I'm trying to get better physically, but like, I know last time I went to my doctor, which was like a couple years ago, I was not in a great spot, so I've got no idea what's going on right now. But in regards to that, going off of that idea, my biggest fear is really the fear of being left behind. Is like, because like when we graduated back in 16, every other person in my close-knit radio family group got a radio gig, a TV gig out the gate. And so I had two friends that moved up to Pennsylvania. One friend moved over to Sacramento. One friend that's still in Lenore, but he was given his own morning show. And another friend, I don't know if he went back to Chicago, but he got a TV gig. And so with my first 3 years out the gate being, you know, you and I working together at iHeart, and with what our situation was there, and knowing that everyone else around there was, or everyone else that I knew already making those paces, you know, it's just like, you know, my biggest question was always, what's wrong with me?
Right.
Like, what did I not have that they had? What am I doing that I maybe shouldn't, and they didn't do? I spent so much time comparing me and trying to figure out what was wrong with me to not be afforded the same opportunities when I felt so much that I did the same work. I had done an internship, which was fantastic. I had gotten into this great program so that I can go to Vegas and see this big conference from the broadcasters from around the world and all these other things. And I'm the one who didn't get something. And it was never a jealousy thing for sure. It was always just like, what's wrong with me? Like, it's always, and I hate that was the way I went, which was, something's wrong with me. I'm deficient somehow.
Right.
But and now we're at a point where all of my friends who did get those gigs, most of them are out of those gigs. And for the two friends that went to Pennsylvania, they're now back in the Triangle area because that's where they're dating. But the guy that's where he's from. And I've spoken to him over the years on like Facebook Messenger and whatnot, and he said, yeah, we've done the radio thing, and now they're moving on to more like communications stuff in the back end. And
jobs.
Right, exactly. And as much as I'm happy for him, and I was happy to give him some pointers because I had already been in those positions, at the same time I was like, God, you know, I wish I had also gotten to do the radio thing.
Because you wanted it. Like,
that's
you
what
wanted
I wanted
to be a real thing, not just a moment in history.
Right. Yeah. And just like you said with, you know, the podcast work is us cultivating our own way of communicating, of engaging people, and of making sure that we facilitate conversations that we feel need to be had between people. My mother has been telling me, like, you cannot, for the sake of your just utter safety, go through life only comparing yourself to people like that.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You cannot constantly be like, what is wrong with me that I didn't get what they got and we did the same things, kind of thing. And that's a hard thing to pull yourself out of because you get so rooted in that mindset. You really do. But it's like, for me, it's just kind of a day at a time. I'm doing this now, and one of my biggest issues for the past, 2016, it's now 2022, for the past 6 years, has been consistency. That's been one of my biggest struggles is consistency. Granted, starting the first version of this podcast, starting that on January 1st, 2020 was not the greatest timing in the world. Especially when it's kind of like, you know, guest interview centered. So like, what am I going to be able to do during a pandemic? Yeah, right. And so this year, this show's been relaunched since April. this will be my 10th episode in. I've been consistent. I'm reworking like my website, which I love to do. I'm looking to give it a new feel, a new aesthetic, which I'm excited about. I'm more engaged here at Huga, and we do like networking things. So we get all the podcasters together and we talk about things that we want to discuss. So how do we want to grow? Right. And I'm like networking with them and getting ideas and like touching base with new, there are a lot of really cool up and coming, or like startup businesses here that help facilitate marketing and design and things like that I'm tapping into. So doing that is helping me because when I do those things, when I'm on my back end of my website and I'm messing the fuck with it, it feels so good. It's amazing. Like, this is like what I should be doing. I just don't know how to get paid for it yet. Right. Yeah, right. Absolutely. Being on the mic here with you, with all of my guests that I have been so far, this is like a serene feeling for me. It feels fantastic.
Because even like you know, we talked about earlier, like having your work day, and this may be it for you. That's your relaxed moment on the weekends. Right. But yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying though, because I felt the same way. Of course, we definitely went different paths. I went to a technological school, Carolina School of Broadcasting. And, they really sold the idea of networking, like make sure you network and keep in contact. So I did all those things. And when I launched in social media, it was just like, I built all these amazing connections with people and, some more acquaintances or just, people I know. Then some came friendships. And so when things really hit the fan for me, I felt strong because I'm like, I know these people. So like, I'm going to do something I've never done before and reach out and say, hey, I'm really in need right now. Like, and no one came through. Right. And, there was one person who offered me the job that I have now. Yeah. I'm very thankful for it. But otherwise, it was just like, it was so disheartening. Yeah. Like, it was like, wait, so I showed up for you so many times. I, put your name in rooms. I, celebrated you. I created events for you. Yeah. And you wouldn't even like just offer me a glass of water. Like, so it was really disheartening. It made me feel like this isn't where I need to be. Sure. You know what I mean? Yeah. And especially during like 2020 when like, the civil unrest, is that the right word for it? Civil unrest? Civil unrest happened.
But it did rise.
It rose like a muffin.
That shit strapped itself to a rocket and took the fuck off.
Right. So when that happened, I saw how many people in the Charlotte area really got like, I'm trying to think of the right words. I'm not trying to be petty. They received a lot of opportunity from it. And when I had done the interview documentary style with Breonna Taylor's friends. Yes. It kind of felt like people were like, oh, you're just trying to do. I'm like, no, like I'm doing it from a real place. Like I could care less if 2 people watch this. Like I just felt so, just, I won't say felt bad for them. I just wanted to let them know like somebody hears you, like, everything's okay. And I reached out again to some of those individuals and it was crickets again. Yeah. So then it was just like, wait. So what are these connections we've been building? Like what is going on here? Like, are you just an opportunist or are you, just so busy now? Like what is the case? Like what is going on? Because when you thought that I could be of aid to you to get you to the next place, you were right there. Smiley, whatever. But when you felt like, oh, I got it now, I don't need you no more, so it was just like, nah, I was doing that authentically. Like I really was doing that because I wanted you to win. Right. I wanted me to win. Hell, I want everybody to win, So yeah, it's like all of that kind of like combined together, and it was just like it's gonna make me rethink everything that I have been building for that point. Yeah. So I paused everything. Currently now in social media still paused, because I'm trying to figure out who am I? Like who am I representing? What do I want to do for my future? And it's not because I'm lost or anything like that. It's just that I want to make sure I'm doing this thing from an authentic place. Right. I don't want anyone to think I'm using their their success as a way for me to get a pinch off of them.
Right.
I don't want your pinch.
Right.
I want my own pinch. I want my own bucket. Like I want my own everything.
Right.
But it really puts things in the perspective, like you said before. But I think it just comes back to, certain things need to happen for you to see it.
Yeah.
And if they never happen, you'll never see what's in front of you, and you'll still be, kind of got those rose-colored glasses thinking everything's great, and the whole time it's just like, nah, it's really not.
It's not.
So yeah, it's been a learning lesson for sure. And like you said, just that feeling of being left out, it was even some friend groups, and I thought like we were just a big friend, like, oh, y'all hang out with each other, how you doing, whatever. And then I realized, oh, y'all going on trips? Oh, y'all having dinner? Like, why did I get an invite? Like, why am I just seeing this on social media?
Right.
So it was just really, like I said, this last year and a half has been like so forthcoming for me. It was just like, damn, like everything I thought it was is not, and that'll affect anyone,
right?
Because you kind of create this world around certain people and habits and things. But yeah, definitely going to therapy has showed me, like your mom told you, you can't compare yourself to anyone because everyone can be up right now. Yeah. But in 5 years, it could be the opposite way.
Exactly.
So, continue your path. I'm really proud of you that you've been consistent. Consistency is everything.
That's so hard.
Okay. Not only with podcasting, with weight loss.
Lord have mercy. She didn't even say I'm coming. She's just like, hi, I'm here.
Hello. But yeah, like consistency is everything. Coming from podcasts to weight loss to being happiness, being intentional, all this stuff has come with being consistent. But I'm working on that too as well. So yeah, it's a process. Life is crazy. You just never know how it may happen.
Yes.
You just never know. You just got to do what makes you happy and that you feel, confident in and let it rock.
Yeah. Definitely be open to shifts in movement and direction, but always find some time for yourself, whatever that means. Either you're sleeping in, doing brunch, you waking up early, get your coffee, get some fruit in your mouth.
Or you taking a year off.
Do
what you got to do.
Do it for you. That's the goal.
Yes.
Jasmine, you've always been a delight on these airwaves with me, so thank you so much for joining me again on this episode of Casual Babble. You'll be back.
Yes, absolutely.
You will be back.
Doing great things.
So in the meantime, we wish you well. Go follow Jasmine. I will link her stuff down below in the description, and that's if you're on YouTube. If you're not, go from wherever you are right now to YouTube and find the links there, or follow me on my socials, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. You'll find out there. Thank you, Jasmine.
Yes, thank you for having me.
You're so very welcome. And I really appreciate you having here, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.